Okay. My name is Ryan Hatch. I've declared my major as psychology, and what I want to do with my degree in psychology when I get there is I want to become a sports psychologist. Um, and along with that, or this slide, in the picture you can see on the right, I'm wearing a hoodie I got in high school, and it is a state wrestling hoodie. And this is one of the big reasons why I decided that I wanted to be a sports psychologist. This influenced that decision a lot. And I'll get a little bit more into that as I continue on in this slideshow or presentation. But I wonder, or probably most of you are wondering what a sports psychologist is or what is sports psychology, because it's not the most common career that you're going to get from a degree in psychology. It's not the most common interest, and it's not very prominent among universities or high schools. Most sports psychologists perform on the professional level, and they work with professional athletes in the Olympics, the NFL, the NBA, things like that. And they're behind the scenes. They're probably on the front row of the stadiums, but they work with their athletes behind the scenes. Um, and so this slide right here kind of explains what sports psychology is. So I'm just gonna go over this real quick. But according to the Association of Applied Sports Psychology, the goal of sports psychology is to facilitate optimal involvement, performance, and enjoyment in sports and exercise. And this is geared towards getting your best performance every performance. It's where sports psychologists help develop your mental game plan. Your work with a sports psychologist or mental performance consultant would cover topics like confidence, composure, imagery, focus, goal setting, pre-performance routines, mindfulness, and even recovering from a burnout. So basically, what this is saying right here, that's a lot of big words and everything. Is you got two sides to sports. You got the physical and you got the mental. Many times, you're gonna find athletes in the gym working on their strength, working on their endurance, and on the field or on the wrestling mat or whatever sport it is. You have to be physically fit, but you more importantly have to be mentally fit, or mentally capable. A lot of times, if you've ever done sports before or competed, you'll recognize that your mind is a strong, strong asset when it comes to competing. If you don't have a strong mind, it doesn't matter how strong your body is. You're gonna fail many times, especially like in cross country or running or things like that, where it's you versus you basically. And it's a mental fight in most every sport. So that's what sports psychologist helps with, is that mental part. And so this last definition right here is basically, I think it's the simplest one, and it's what helps me understand it the most. But it says well-meaning individuals, such as like coaches, will tell you to focus, but they don't tell you how to focus. That's what sports psychologists do. How to stay focused, or how to focus and how to stay confident, how to get and stay confident, how to maintain composure, even when the ref blows the call or the whistle, how to lessen the nerves but maintain game time intensity. That's the goal of a sports psychologist, is to show you how to focus, show you how to keep your composure, show you get you to be confident in yourself and what you're performing in, and then maintain that as time goes on in the game or in practices, no matter what the outcome is. Why did I decide sports psychology? This goes back to that first slide with wrestling. I've always grown up doing sports since I was a little boy, and I've loved it. And I've gained a lot of role models. A lot of professional athletes have been role models in my life. And so one of the big, I would say, perks to being a sports psychologist is you get to work with professional athletes, which would be a dream come true for me. Being able to work personally and intimately with one-on-one with athletes would be absolutely a dream come true. Two, like I said, I've always been passionate about sports and mental toughness. What goes on in the head? What goes on in your brain when you're in a wrestling match and your opponent is wearing you down, and your arms are tired, your legs are tired, and you just don't feel it. It doesn't even occur to you that you're in pain because of whatever mental state you're in. And how do you get to that mental state? What does your brain do to get to that mental state, and how do you keep that? That's a question I've always had that I'm excited and to learn about in psychology and in achieving this degree. And the third reason is because I've always wanted to be a personal trainer too. And being a sports psychologist would be a great asset for that. Being able to work with people personally on their physical um, and obviously on their mental too. If I have an advantage of having a degree in psychology and emphasize in sports psychology, I'll be able to help my trainees um, not only physically but mentally, and which will ultimately help them achieve the results that they're looking for. The education that's required. I've done a lot of research on this, and I haven't figured out all of it yet. But this is what I got so far. So I know you're going to need a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with an emphasis in performance and sports psychology. And it's designed for students with a keen interest in sports, like myself, performing arts, health and fitness, or mental health fields. Channel your passions for human behavior while learning to guide performance on the highest level with this sports psychology degree. You must obtain a bachelor's degree in psychology, then be accepted to graduate school to get a master's degree in sports psychology. And that's basically what you need to become a sports psychologist. And then hopefully you'll be able to get recognized by some athlete that wants to hire you, or maybe a university would be a good goal for me, is to work at a college university over a sports program and be able to work with these athletes and that are on these high levels, and be able to work with them. But that's my presentation, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new about sports psychology, and yeah, thank you so much.